Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to be making chicken francaise. This is a recipe I located while scrolling Facebook. It was shared by Recipe 30. So here's the list of ingredients. It calls for 2 chicken breasts. However, you could actually make a third. You will need a half cup of plain flour, 2 eggs, a handful of fresh parsley, Parmesan cheese, 1 cup of white wine, doesn't matter which kind, just a cup of white wine, 1 cup of chicken stock. Now you could use chicken broth if you didn't have the chicken stock. You'll need 1 garlic clove, 4 tablespoons of olive oil, and 4 tablespoons of butter, as well as half of a lemon and salt and pepper. Okay, so we're moving on to the steps. Here happens to be 1 of 4. Steps 2 and 3 say add the cheese, add the parsley to the egg mixture. Don't do it. I didn't do it. You don't have to. Keep watching the video and I'll show you why. Not going to talk about each step. Just review them, take a screenshot, do what you have to do. I'll flip through them real quick just so you can see them, and we're going to move on in just a minute. Joel here says that the preparation time takes 15 minutes. Cook time is 12 minutes. It serves 2 people, and the difficulty level is a medium. So if all goes well, we should be ready in about 30 minutes or less. Let's see. So here I am preparing my area. I'm going to start measuring everything out. I'm going to take video of everything that I do for a couple reasons. I want you to see what I'm doing, and I also want to document how long this takes me. I use my stainless steel measuring cups to measure anything dry, and I use my glass measuring cups to measure anything liquid. Here I'm using a grater to grate my cheese, and I'm letting the cheese fall into my scale because it calls for 2 ounces. I want to make sure I have it measured properly. I'm going to go ahead and chop up my garlic, chop, 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 chop. And squeeze my lemon, measure my oil, and now I'm going to go ahead and measure out my wine. And I'm going to come up short. Yep. Just under a cup of wine. So I'm going to go see what else I have in my pantry and just add to it. Okay, so I don't have another Chardonnay, but I do have more white wine, so I will go ahead and add the other bottle of wine I have to this. Hey, if you guys are wine drinkers, you could open up a bottle, get your wine out, and throw in a cup here, and then drink the rest for dinner. Now, this is one of my favorite. This is fun. This kitchen tool is a lot of fun. I love my kitchen tools, you guys. All right. I have everything prepped. Here it is. I'm going to move it over to the stovetop and I'm going to start cooking. I need to slow my roll. I forgot I need to butterfly and beat my chicken. So I'm going to begin to get my egg mixture ready. And like the recipe states, you're supposed to add your parsley, your salt and pepper, and your cheese to this mixture before you add the chicken. I don't, and the reason why is because I like to have more control over the cheese. If I'm adding my cheese to this, it's not going to go exactly where I want. A lot of it might just stick to the bottom of the bowl. So I kind of feel like if I add the cheese while I'm cooking, as well as the parsley and salt and pepper, I feel like the control lets me get all of the ingredients onto the meat. So that's what I'm going to do. But here we have the meat. It's butterflied. I took the mallet to it, dipped it into the flour, and here we go into the egg. I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to start with the next one. So I'm not Gordon Ramsay fast, but I'm pretty fast in the kitchen. I have everything in a general area, and it still took me more than 15 minutes to prep for this dinner. So keep in mind that you will need extra time. Do not rely on the 15-minute prep time because that's a lie. So I have everything over here next to my stove top, and I'm heating up my pan and I'm getting it ready to add the oil and the butter. Okay, I'm going to begin to sprinkle on the Parmesan cheese. I'm only going to use an ounce right now, and in 4 minutes when I flip the chicken, I'm going to sprinkle about another ounce, ounce and a half on top of the other side. I'm going to reserve about a ½ ounce just so I have some cheese to sprinkle on top of my chicken when I serve it on a plate. We're coming up on 4 minutes, so let's get ready to flip these. I wanted to slow down the video so you can take a look and see what they look like. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is amazing. That's perfect. Perfect. Beautiful golden brown. Looks really good, and it smells really good too. I'm going to go ahead and add some more parsley and cheese, of course. And then I'm going to let this cook for 4 minutes on this side. And I'm going to go ahead and speed it up so you don't have to sit through the cooking process the entire time with me. So we're approaching the 4-minute mark on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and remove these from the pan. Oh, they're wonderful. They didn't even stick. Look at what's in that pan. There's a little bit of the flour mixture, but that's okay. Not much, if any at all. Now I'm pouring in my white wine. This will help deglaze the pan. So I'm going to use my rubber spatula to get any of the brown bits off of the bottom. And I'm going to turn my heat up a little bit. It was on medium. I'm going to put it on medium high just for a moment, just to get it up to temperature. Here we go. It's already starting to boil. Now I'm adding the chicken stock, the lemon, the garlic, and parsley. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken back into the pan. It's going to sit here for a little bit more than the 30 seconds that the recipe says it should, and that's because I can't serve my family just the chicken. I'm going to need to make some other things in addition to, so I have decided that I would cook up some pasta that I made earlier, as well as some asparagus. So while the other stuff is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and let this sit in the pan so it stays warm. So the pasta's finished, and now I can add the chicken, and it looks so pretty. I am all about my food presentation. I really feel like if it looks good, it's going to taste good, and oh my gosh, this doesn't only look good, it smells really good too. I can certainly smell the lemon and the garlic. Oh man, you guys, I cannot wait to dig in. And there goes that last little bit of cheese. See, I always like to save a little bit of cheese just for this. This recipe certainly did not disappoint in the flavor category. It was amazing. The only downside to this recipe is it's rather expensive to make. It would cost you $45 if you don't have any of the ingredients. Well, I happen to have some, so it cost me $15, which isn't really too bad, but for 2 people, that's on the high side. Now, it did take me a while to make it, a little while longer than I had anticipated. If you're going to make this, plan on spending about 45 minutes to an hour in the kitchen, plus you need to factor in some sides. So I'm going to make this a 6 on my scale because it's not for beginners. Anyhow, make it and decide for yourself and tune back in because we're going to be making pasta soon. I'll see you then.